Welcome back to episode 2 of Let's Play with update 6 on Timberborn Folktails Canyon Map. Where we last left things is we had just finished that initial setup. So we've got our trees planted, we've got a little bit over here, a little bit over here. I want to expand this for certain in this episode, get some more trees down. We had also started moving over to this side of the map as well, take advantage of this space. So we've got our farmhouse down here. I'm going to remove this one once all of that is cleaned up. And I'm going to expand out the farming to basically take over this entire area. And I'm also going to set up some aquatic farming over here as well. So we had done that initial setup, and then we'd also set up a little bit of housing. So what are my goals then for this episode? What am I setting out to do? Well, again, like I said in the last episode, I am definitely one to kind of plan and play as I go. But I do have a couple of things I really do want to try and accomplish for this episode. So first, like I highlighted, is I want to get a little bit of aquatic farming going here. It's not a lot of space for aquatic farming, but it's good enough that I can get some spatterdock in here. That one great advantage to having multiple food types is the fact that it will both make your beavers happier, but also it gives them different bonuses. So having different types of food will give them different bonuses. So having a varied diet. I mean, same thing for humans as well. Having a very varied diet is a good thing. Then that'll also help our beavers. So I do want to expand this out and do some aquatic farming over here. So that's going to be one big thing. Number 2 is then, as part of getting this ready, is I'm just going to put in the floodgates here. As much as I so desperately want to use the sluices, unfortunately, this is going to be too expensive for right now. That each one is going to cost 5 planks and 5 metal blocks. And that's also going to mean that we need to go over here and get some metal blocks, and we're going to need to process them and so forth. So it's just going to be a lot of science and a lot of energy to try and do that. And unfortunately for right now, that's going to be outside of the realm of what we can accomplish. That being said, though, I do want to get over here and start pulling some metal down, just so then that way, once the time comes to both set up our sluice, but also to set up our contamination barriers, that we've got the metal to do that. So that's something else I want to get in this episode, is maybe set up a little pile here, set up a scavenger, and get one beaver just commuting out there every day just to pull down some metal and have that at the ready. The other thing that I want to do is I want to grow my beaver population, in particular because I want to get a hauling post set up. So hauling posts are probably one of the most overlooked buildings, I think, in Timberborn. That what a hauling post will do is it will really help with your logistics. That beavers that are set up as haulers are able to carry twice as much, but that's also all that they're ever going to be doing is just move stuff around. So for example, I'm going to have my potatoes here and they're going to go into that farmhouse there, or in my case, they'll come down to this farmhouse here, since this is where I'm moving my farming. So I've got my farmhouse here, but I'm processing all of those items up here. So how are we going to get our potatoes from here to here? Well, normally the way that would happen is it would be the workers, specifically this little beaver here, Romu? That's his name, and that's what I'm going with. We're going to have Romu here that's going to have to go back and forth all by his beaver lonesome to move those potatoes back and forth. If you have haulers, then the haulers will do that, and that will really improve your logistics quite a bit. So I want to expand out my beavers and get a couple of haulers working in a hauling post to help improve the speed of my logistics. And then as part of that, I also now want to go back to this and redo this section and start to make this a little bit prettier. That I have a large house or a triple lodge setup here that I really like to both get kind of some consolidated living, but also to put in a better bit of entertainment to help keep the beavers happy as well. And so I'm going to want to set all of that up inside of here. So those are going to be the primary goals then for the episode, is to get my aquatic farming, to start pulling down some metal up there, grow my beaver population, and to start to redo this section over here. So let's get moving. Let's go ahead and get this off of pause, and let's get a path back over here to the levees that we had placed in a prior episode for blocking out the water. So let's get some beavers back over to there and get them working. Perfect. And we are almost done here with this. We still have... Can you pick these carrots, please? So that way I can you, right? These, right here? No? Okay, then. I really want to get rid of these carrots because this farmhouse can reach these carrots. This one can't. And so the only reason that I've currently got this one still sitting here is just because of these carrots. Why are you telling me you have nothing to do? Go get these carrots. They're sitting right here. Thank you. All right. Perfect. All right. Let me go ahead and do another real quick thing here. As part of my getting ready to make this into an area for my farming, I want to get rid of all these trees. So let me get where is it? Right here. There we go. Let me get a lumberjack flag. And let's get all of this cut. Whoosh. There we go. Sound effects help. Or at least they help me. They make me happy. All right. Let me get rid of that path. And let me also get some storage here for all of those logs, because that's going to be quite a few. So let's get a pile here. And because this is going to be temporary, I'm just going to put that there. And while we're at it, since I'm also going to be having a ton of trees back here, let's get one set up over here. And this is going to be for logs, and this is going to be for logs. Excellent. And right now I've got 2 builders. Think we're going to be doing our thing. Yep. Okay. We've got 10 carrots. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this farmhouse, and eventually they'll just collect the carrots out of there and move them into that warehouse. Perfect. And then what that means is I can get down some more oak trees. Beautiful. Let's plant that. That's going to give us plenty to work with for right now. So we've got all this pine over here. All of this is already starting to pop. That's wonderful. We've got all of this oak right here that's planted. And we've got all of this. It's going to be ready in about 13 days? 14 days? I don't know. Whatever math is for that. So we're going to be looking really good as far as that goes. And then the other real big thing that I want to do is I want to clean out these berries. So let me get under food. Let's get a gatherer flag. Let's put that there. And then that way I can start to clean out those berries. Okay, so we're getting that space cleaned out. That way I can start to plant over there, and then I can kind of figure out how I want to divide things up. I don't think I want to start doing any of the flower-based items yet, just because there's a bit too much overhead involved with that. I might throw down some sunflower seeds. I'm not a fan of the sunflower seeds because they just don't give you a whole lot, and they also just like the return on investment there is just super low. Okay, let's take a look at my beavers. So right now I've got 2 child beavers that are almost adults. That means it's the perfect time to get some more beavers going. So one big thing about the Folktails is the fact that they're again going to go based off of the empty beds. And one of the things that can happen is if you put down a whole bunch of housing, they're going to make a whole bunch of beavers. And if they make a whole bunch of beavers, they're all going to die within a relatively close period of time. And so that's going to generate a death wave. So it's something you want to keep an eye on, so that way you're kind of spreading all of that out and that you're not going to accidentally generate a death wave. So I'm going to wait till this is built, and then I'm going to turn my attention to starting to set up my my triple lodges here. Okay, let's see. We got half a day. All right, let me do this. I'm going to create. I think I'm going to be okay. Let's see. I've got 57. I've got 1 beaver without a job. That's perfect. Then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a couple more builders here, and I'm going to pause the lumber mill so that I can get 1 more builder down here. Okay. So here's what I want to do is I want to delete these 3 houses, and I want to get the triple lodges built up pretty quickly. So I want as many builders as possible for that. Wait till all the beavers come out of their home, and then go ahead and start the cleanup. There we go. There goes 1. There goes 2. And there goes 3. All righty. Now, let's clean that up. And then let's get some stairs to here. Yes. And let's get... Actually, I'm trying to think of how I usually do this. I don't want those there. Okay. There we go. I want this. Let me get my triple lodge, and let's make that look like that. Perfect. I'm going to leave 1 space here, so then that way we can actually, sorry. Let's get this set up straight. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to leave 1 space back here just so then that way I can get over to this space back here relatively quickly. And then I'm going to get in a warehouse right here. And then I'm going to put in another triple lodge. Oops, triple lodge right back here. Okay. Let's get this built right away. Come on, beavers. And then let's get some stairs going up. And let's get a path across to here. Okay. So that also means that I need this to be built right away and this to be built right away. Do I have enough planks? I do. Okay. Cool. So here's what I'm doing is I'm going to set this up here. I've got this triple lodge here. And then eventually I'm going to put in, how many can I fit? I think I can fit 1 more, maybe 2 more. 1. Yeah, and just the 1, unfortunately. But that's all right. So what I really like to do is to try and keep warehouses with food right near my housing, just so then that way it helps make things a little bit more efficient for my beavers. So that way when they go home, they can eat, they get up in the morning, if they, wake up hungry, they can eat right there. So it just saves a little bit of time. So I'm going to fill this to start with some grilled potatoes, and then I'll build another one, and that will be for my carrots. And then I'm also going to actually kind of cleaning things up here. Yeah, I don't want that path. I also want to do this, which is going to get that, and let's build this right away, and let's build that right away, and let's get a path. There we go. Because this is then going to give me space to be able to, for example, on my well-being, place a rooftop terrace. And then I'll also be able to I'll probably put it right here in the middle. And then that way I can put some decorations on each side. And again, kind of help improve the beaver happiness. So that way, when they go to their house, they will just naturally walk by the decorations. They'll be able to, hang out in the lounge right here that I've built for them. And again, just try and help improve happiness, because happy beavers are going to work that much faster. All right. Speaking of working that much faster, we apparently, even though we had 4 builders, did not get this built in time. Shucks. All right. Well, we're gonna have 8 beavers sleeping on the ground tonight. Sorry. All right. Well, we'll let them finish that out, I guess, tomorrow. I was hoping that'd be done a little faster than that, but apparently not. All right. We'll wait till tomorrow morning here, and they'll finish that out. There we go. Okay. My drought ended. That's good. So now we'll actually be getting some water and be getting some planks eventually here. Yeah. That's full at the moment with 20, because right now I am building everything over here. This is all more important, though. I want to make sure that my beavers have someplace to sleep. Okay, that's all built. That's all built. Let's make sure that I've got a road back to it. There we go. Beautiful. And now let's get this built. And then for the time being, I'm going to leave those 3 here. All right. But let's get that built. And you know what? I do want to... Oh, perfect. They built that. Because I want to get those logs all chopped down. I want to get all those trees chopped down. Okay. Let's get this on the 3-speed. Let's get some building going. Let's get homes for beavers. And then once I've got that second 9 done, which we'll have to wait till tomorrow, apparently, then I'll go ahead and delete these and then finish out this little housing complex that I've got going on. There we go. There's that. And so now I can delete that one, and delete that one. And then let's unpause that. Let's get some more storage here. And I'm going to store blueberries here because I want to make sure that we're going to be pulling all the berries from all the bushes on the other side of the river. So I want to make sure they've got some place to go. So let's get that going. And then let's get a path to that. Okay. And then let's finish this out. I'm going to build this one right here. Rotate. We'll just snap that right in. And then let's do a little bit of deletion of my paths here. Yeah. And let's get my stairs and get my platforms. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to do this real quick before I forget. One thing that you're going to notice, I've now got 10 empty beds because I've now got 9, 18, 27, a total of 30 housing. Now, one thing that you can do that not a lot of people, I don't think, know about is you can actually pause houses for the Folktails. So that way, this will now give me, when I start this back up, it'll bring this back down to 1 bed. So now this will give me better control over that population. So that way I don't accidentally create a whole bunch of empty beds, which in turn is going to mean a whole bunch of empty beavers. So let's get that set up. How am I doing on my planks? I need more planks. Let's get that turned back on. There we go. All right. And then while that's doing that, let's get my rooftop terrace. And let's put that right there. It's going to be off center, but that's okay. Unfortunately, I can't move this back. I could get like, yeah, I really can't move it back, but that's all right. And then under decoration, I don't think that these take a lot of science, 80 science. And what's a shrub? Shrub is 20. Let's build a shrubbery. Let's go ahead and put a shrub there and there. And I'm just going to live with the asymmetry for the time being. Let's make sure that that's paused. There we go. No accidental extra beavers here. Okay. And then the last little thing that I'm going to do, just to kind of keep expanding out my my beavers here, is I am going to create. I'm trying to think if I really want to go through with this, because like right now, turning on a brand new 9 spot is going to be a lot of my population. Even at 6, it's going to be a lot of my population. So I think what I'm going to do is give myself another normal house. So that way I'll only have 3 beds there. And again, that'll give me a bit of control over how the population is going to grow for my colony, especially since right now I still don't have a ton of water storage yet because I don't have gears yet. And I don't have the medium platform. That's actually something I should accomplish as well in this episode. Okay. Let's see. So now we're clearing out all those berries from here, and then this will eventually become planting. Beautiful. Okay. How are we looking? We're looking pretty good up here. Let's turn our attention to down here then. We've got our levees built. Let's go ahead and... let's see. I'm just trying to think of where I want my aquatic farmhouse to go. So that way I can figure out where I want to put my stairs. And I think I'm going to put it... Let's see. I think I'm going to put it here. And then let's go ahead and path to here. And let's... Where's my aquatic? Food. My aquatic farmhouse 150. We've got just enough. Beautiful. Okay. So let's do that. And then let's demolish that. So that way we can start to get some water in. And let's plant some spatterdock. There we go. Okay. We've got happier beavers now. Because now we've got some shrubs. They're walking past the shrubs. They're all happy about doing that. I think I'm going to put like some benches or something else down here. And I'll also very likely kind of surround the outside, or maybe on the side here, start to put in some hedges, maybe some medical beds as well once we start to get to that point of when we turn on the gear workshop here. That's going to start to injure some beavers. So I want to make sure that we've got an ability to help them heal. How are we looking on our grilled potatoes? We're not able to get potatoes because we needed them to finish growing. Kind of funny how that works. Let's plant some more potatoes. There we go. Okay. Let's see. How are we looking? I think I'm going to 3-speed this for the time being, just to get things moving a little bit quicker. We need 10 planks, and we are firing away on those planks. Let's go ahead and prioritize the demolition of that, so that way we can fill this up with water. And then how much is a floodgate? 150. Okay. It's going to be a minute before we can get the floodgate down. But I think we have until cycle 4 until we get a bad tide. And I'm not worried about water here until we get a bad tide. So there's not a huge rush on that. But we are going to need to make sure that we get that relatively quickly here. Okay. Once this gets closer to all my baby beavers growing up, then I'm going to go ahead and connect that. And that way we'll have some more beds. And that will allow us to just slowly grow, slowly expand out our population here. Just really trying to avoid a death wave. The thing about the death wave is it just makes it harder to try and properly staff all of the different jobs that that need to be done. So if we can kind of make sure that we are going through a more leveled out circle of life, it's going to allow us to basically just make things more predictable, make things easier to work with, make things easier to manage. So that's why I'm just being a little careful about this, because with this small of a population, opening up 9 beds is really going to have an impact on all of that. I might be being a little too careful there, but just trying to keep things moving at an even keel. All right. We are almost done pulling all of these down. Let's see. We start marking some resources for demolition. I definitely don't care about that. I don't care about that. 63%. I'm probably going to tear that down. 80%. We'll see. What are these two back here? Oh, that's a birch and that's a birch. Okay, that's fine. We'll go ahead and let those get cut down. That one I'm definitely not going to worry about, though. It's not far enough, or too far, rather. That's all right. I now want to get rid of all of these. Okay. So I'm getting rid of all of those berries, so that way I can start to plant out here. And I think I'm going to plant... How am I looking at my food supply here? Got a good amount of potatoes. I've got a good amount of carrots. I've, of course, got plenty of berries now. And in fact, let me pause that gatherer flag because I don't need it anymore. And let me turn that back on. And then the other thing I'm going to do... Actually, no. I'm just going to leave that the way it is for the time being. Look at them go. We'll slow things down. Apparently, you remove berry bushes by just hammering on them. That's apparently the way that works. So, I love it. They got a little shoulder strap. It's absolutely adorable. It is so cute. It is so cute. Okay. Let's see. How am I doing in my housing? Oh, I want to look at this. We are at 95% and 60%. That is perfect timing. Let's connect that. Now we've got 3 empty beds. And again, slowly growing our population. All right. And now we've got Spatterdock. Let me demolish these birch because I don't care too much about them. And then I'm going to get a warehouse put right here to store our Spatterdock. Oh, you know, one thing that dawned on me, I'm going to unplant this section right here. The reason I'm doing that is because eventually I'm going to be putting down some contamination barriers. So that way when the bad tide does roll through, I don't want it to get down here. So I'm just going to do that. I might need to move this one over as well. How am I looking? I've got... shucks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. It stinks, but I just needed to pay a little more attention. I need to make sure I've always got space for my contamination barriers because, again, I'm eventually going to have a bad tide rolling right through here. And so I want to make sure that I'm going to protect all the things that I'm growing because unlike a drought where things will survive for a couple of days, a bad tide, they're not going to survive pretty much any time at all. So, like, at most on some of these, it'll be like a day. So, yeah. So we'll just move that over. It's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. And we've got our floodgate placed. And we will get things moving along at a little faster clip. Let's see. These are still sitting there. How far are these along? 96. Perfect. These are almost set to pop. Wonderful. And once that's done, this will definitely carry us well through to the middle game. Just this amount of trees. This will be good. So having all of this oak, that'll carry us for a fair bit. Okay. And that's all clear now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and plant some flower seeds. Again, I'm really not a huge fan of the sunflower seeds, just because they're 5 days for only 2 seeds. Like even carrots, 4 days for 3 carrots. But again, that different variety, it's going to give them different boosts. It's going to give them, higher levels of happiness. So making sure that that you've got that sorted is rather important. Okay. We're down to 1 empty bed now. Beavers are doing their beaver things. And right now I've got 1 that's about to become an adult. And we'll have 2 children, 1 empty bed. So we'll hold off on opening anything up for the moment. Okay. And what are you sitting at? 74, 90. We've got 159 logs. You know what? I am not going to worry my pretty little head over this. I am going to... There we go. Let's empty that. And that way I can get a path out to here, and then that way we'll be able to demolish all of that. All right, so we got a drought coming. That's good. Don't have our first bad tide yet. But I am going to do a little bit of real quick math here. So I now have 23 beavers, soon to be 24. So 24 times 2 is 48. I've only got 2 days worth of storage here. I've got just enough science. Oh, this is going to take me too long to build. Shucks. All right, let's get a couple more small tanks down. And let's get these storing water. Let's get these built as quick as possible. There we go. Okay. Just so that way I've got the extra water supply. There we go. Water, and water. So basically, 3 of these is 90. So again, kind of roughly 2 a day. It's a little less than 2 when you're on normal. It's a little more than 2 when you're on hard mode. So basically, 3 of these will give me 2 days worth of water for my colony as it currently is. So right now I've got 2 days worth of water stored up. So let's see how long this drought is going to wind up being. Should be able to at least get the rest of this. That will get me 4 days. Then I should be fine. But just want to make sure that I've got that. Okay, that's now empty. Let's demolish that. Yes, and let's demolish that. Yes, and now we can go ahead and clean up those resources. I'm also going to delete that. Can you reach these? You can't. Okay. There we go. One other real quick tip on all these stumps, you don't actually need to mark them for demolition. That if you just simply build or plant over them, they'll go away. So you don't need to worry about cleaning those up. Just simply build. And away you go. All right. And now I've got all this additional space here. Let's do this. Let's get a... let me see. What do I want to do? How's my situation looking? I think I'm just going to put more sunflower seeds out here for the time being. And then I'll figure out what to plant along here in a little bit. What I eventually want to do is I eventually want to get some overhangs out here and start to get some my warehouses then over the water. And again, the great advantage of doing that is rather than doing a platform, which again, when I go to dynamite this a little bit later, I'm not going to be able to very easily dynamite that. I would want a suspension bridge. If I put an overhang out here, then I'll be able to still dynamite all through here with just the overhang. 3 days on the drought, perfect. We've got, I think, 3 days worth of water, 150, 23 beavers. So 46 times 3. It's about 140, 150. Perfect. Yeah, we've got just enough water. Just enough water for that. Excellent. And we are, let's see, both of them are about to become adults. So that means we're going to have one child and one empty bed. How far along is that last child? 50%? There we go. And then there's that last child. Okay. I'm going to let... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Codvux here. I'm going to wait until they get closer to adulthood and then open that up. Okay. In the meantime, let's get a path built. Out to the metal. There we go. Perfect, perfect, and perfect. And then let's... There we go. And large pile, and this is going to accept scrap metal. And then under my metal, do I have enough science? I do. Wow, that's expensive. Expensive for the early game anyway. Okay. And so now we can start pulling down some metal, start gathering that, and then that way, once the time comes that we're ready to start smelting, we are all set and ready to go on that. Okay. And I think for right now, I'm going to keep this as my industry section. Not necessarily the best located, but right now it'll work since I'm still in kind of that early, not quite mid game. This is going to be fine. So we'll leave that. Oh, why aren't you cutting those trees? Because you didn't mark them to be cut. Every single time. Every single time. Okay. And you know what? While we're at it, let me go ahead and mark all of this. Our drought's over, so that's wonderful. And let's get a lumberjack flag right back here and get all those cut. Cool. We've got 3 baby beavers. We are... There we go. All right. Let's just get a little closer here. Again, I'm probably being too particular about it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Just trying to keep things moving in a nice, orderly fashion. All right, we'll wait just a little bit longer there, and then we'll open up that last house. Okay. In the meantime, let's get our gears built, and let's get a medium tank built. And let's see. Just trying to visualize what I want to do here. I think I really like this setup here. Let me go well-being and a campfire. I think this looks really good, having a campfire at the end of the road, just like that. It does block this path, making it a dead end. But I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Yeah, and eventually I'm going to mirror this on the other side. It does mean I'll need to do a little bit of demolition. I think I'll just need like this corner right here. 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll just need that corner right there. But I'm going to mirror this eventually on the other side. And then maybe what I can do is just create a couple of back roads, and maybe that can be the way in. Yeah, I don't know. I think this looks cute. I like it. I think it looks good. So I'm going to leave it. There we go. And now all my beavers are getting all happy in the campfire. Okay. And now let me... I've got spatterdock. I need a grill. Let's get a grill right here. And you are going to grill some spatterdock. Beautiful. Now then, let's build a water tank. Yeah, now we really need to get rolling. Okay, I think I'm going to stop being so persnickety or so diligent about this. Let's go ahead and just pause both of those. Let's get the population moving. Yeah, we're okay. That'll all work out just fine. So this will get us up to 27, and that should be able to manage the number of jobs that we currently have. I am going to prioritize grilling spatterdock because you should generally pay a little more attention to food, obviously, but also because of the fact that I want to get a more diverse food set. Okay. How are we doing over here? Are we able to manage all this with just the one? Yeah, it looks like we're doing all right. It looks like we're doing all right. Okay. Now then, let's get a warehouse right there. For spatterdock. There we go. And so what we're going to notice is that they've got potatoes, they've got carrots, they've got sunflower seeds, and they got spatterdock. All of that is making them happy. They've got their campfire, the rooftop terrace that's making them happy. The shrub is making them happy. So we're in a good way. We are definitely looking pretty good here. All right, can we start? Oh, Are we? Oh, we just don't have enough storage for all those logs. That's what our problem is. Let's fix that. And in fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to not really have enough room for what I want to do. All right, that's fine. I'm just going to put it here. I was going to put it next to all of this, but I just don't have really the space, especially because I want to keep moving up this direction here. Okay. Now then, let's get our attention back. Let's get a medium tank built. And I'm going to put that right back here. Put that close to our housing. And let's give them some water. And then I'm going to put another medium tank down here. And in fact, well, how long is this going to take? What does this need? It needs 30 planks. And right now, I don't have that. And I need a lot more gears. Okay. We'll let that finish out building. Give that a little bit. We are looking really good. We are looking really good. You know, speaking of dynamite, I'm going to have to figure out the best place to go get bad water so I can make dynamite. And that's probably going to be... maybe here? Maybe... something like that? That'll get me some level of bad water. That's going to be a little bit yet because we're going to need metal blocks and all of that. So we're still a little ways away from being able to demolish that one little corner there. But that's what we'll probably have to do, at least to start, to get some bad water. Okay. Let me make sure that we're cutting all the way out. We are. Let me clean this up. There we go. And you know what? While we're at it, let's clean all of that up as well. Okay. And I think I'm going to pause this for the time being. There we go. Okay. And we've now got our first injured beaver. Let's go ahead and get a couple of medical beds. And I think I'm just going to put... I think I'm just going to put them right there. And maybe what I'll also do is put a couple of shrubs there as well. A couple of shrubberies. There we go. Just so then that way there's also, like, when the beavers are going there to heal up, that they'll also get a little bit of happiness. Okay. In any event, there's my medium tank now built. So now let me start emptying these just like that. And that way I can get a medium tank built down here. I think I've actually got space for two. I do. Let's speed this up. There you go. It's getting all healed. Yeah, injured beavers, if you're not familiar. So as you move further up technologically, so in my case, gears, but when you start to like do anything with metal or explosives, and mining in particular, those really start to injure beavers. And you just sort of have to account for that. Injured beavers can't work. They're going to continue to eat and drink and do all those things, but they're not going to be able to work. So you want to try and help them heal as quick as possible. And that's what the beds are there for. So you'll notice that, who is this? Kodvux again here, is getting themselves healed. Getting themselves healed. Okay. And let me delete that. Yes. And let me delete that one. Yes, just doing a little bit of cleanup here. Cool. We'll let that finish emptying. And then let's delete that. And let's get another. Medium tank here for water. That'll basically solve our water for the foreseeable future. That those couple of medium tanks, because each one of these will hold 300. So as long as we're able to fill them and get to 600, we might want an additional pump. But if we can get that to 600, then that'll hold us for 300 beaver days. So 300 divided by however many beavers we have. Right now, our target that we're looking at is about 36. So, that's going to give us a solid 7 days or so of water. So that would hold us over. I think my math is correct. You can comment below. Let me know that my math is wrong there. I'm doing all of that off the top of my head. Somewhere in that ballpark. Somewhere in that ballpark. Okay. Can we grow this out yet? 8466. Yeah. So let's go ahead and turn one of these on. And then we'll turn that one on. And then once we finally get to a spot, then we can turn that last one on. And then I'm going to clean these two out. And then at that point, if I wind up opening up 9 beds, I'm not going to worry as much. But it really is just that initial bit of growth here that I just pay a little more attention to. Okay. I mentioned the last big thing that I wanted to do was to set up a hauling post. Let's get that set up, and let's just tuck this right back here. Where the hauling post is located really doesn't matter because the beavers don't actually go to the hauling post unless they don't have anything to do. So it's not like they're going to go there, get their assignment, and then go out. They just simply wake up and start hauling stuff. So where it's located really doesn't matter. So for the time being, I'm just going to kind of tuck it back here. It's as good a place as any. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this as lower workplace priority. And this is really what I like to do when I'm in this area where I am right now. Somewhere basically between about like 30 to maybe 50 or 60 beavers is I'll put down a hauling post and then I'll mark that as lower priority. So that way any unemployed beavers, basically their job is then just to haul stuff around. It also then means that I can, bump up my workers all the way up to 10. And again, just as we go, they will, if they're unemployed, they'll go ahead and hop into there and do their thing and go ahead and haul stuff around. So, okay. Let's see. Right now, we don't need any gears. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my gear shop just so then that way my planks aren't going to accidentally get turned into gears, which is something that can absolutely happen. So I'm just going to mark that as paused so that way we're not using our planks for gears, which we're not going to use quite yet. Oh, we're going to be using them over here. All right, let's turn this back on then. I guess I am using it. I got tried to get a little too fancy there. All right, let me get this up to 3 speed here, and let's get these built. So we're looking pretty good. That we've now got 71 scrap metal, so we're starting to build up a nice little collection of that. We've got a really good collection of logs. I think I'm going to go ahead and just get on top of things. Let's get another large pile. Just put that right there of logs. I don't think you can ever have too much of a collection of logs all set and ready to go. So since we've got all these trees that haven't yet been cut down, let's give our beaver somewhere to put them. Let's make sure that we've always got some logs here. This is moving. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna do is let me do a little cleanup. Demolish buildings. Let me clean up these paths right here. And then I am going to storage, large pile, and then literally right outside the door, we're going to have logs. So, like I was mentioning before, in order to actually, do things, we need to get stuff from A to B. So if this now has logs, then when we go to make a plank, all we have to do is just go right over here. So there we go. We'll start to fill this up. And now what you're going to notice is when Zulabar comes out here, we'll give him a second. Come on, Zula. There we go. You'll notice just popped right out, grabbed a log, went right back to work. And so that's what this productivity score right here means. It's how long they're having to spend going to get materials. So if you want to make things more productive for processing, for building, make sure that the materials that they need is right near where they're going to be using it. So, okay. Yeah, all my planks are going over there. It's probably going to be time for another lumber mill. Let's do it. Let's build one more lumber mill. There we go. Because right now that's a bottleneck for what we're wanting to build. So let's get this done right away. Go back to 3 speed. And just give this another moment. There we go. And yeah, we've got just enough power. We should probably get another power wheel on the other side. I've got plenty of logs. Let's do it. Let's get another power wheel over here on the other side. Eventually, I'm going to replace these with windmills and figure out kind of where to put all of this, but not quite yet. I'm also hoping that at some point in the not too distant future, we're going to wind up getting access to the flywheel mod again. That I'm a huge fan of the flywheel mod. So hopefully that'll come over to Steam Workshop in the not too distant future here, so that way I can start using flywheels, which is definitely one of my favorite mods. All right, we got a drought approaching. And this is getting there. Oh, perfect. Okay. This is done. We just don't have the available beavers, but we've got a new population right here that's going to be ready to go soon enough to start hauling some stuff around. And while we're at it, I'm going to make sure that both of my water pumps are prioritized, so that way the beavers that are working inside of here can focus in on just pulling water and not having to bring it around. And let's go ahead and empty these to clean that out. There we go. Delete, delete, delete. We are looking really good. One of the other little updates in the new update is it used to be that water wheels would slow down the water. So if you started stringing them together, it would mean that you'd start producing less and less power. But it just created a bit of confusion among a lot of the players. So they decided to go ahead and get rid of that. I kind of like that. I like that they got rid of that. Because making power, especially for the Folktails, is kind of a pain. That, like, one of the things you get with Iron Teeth is a fuel generator, basically. But with the Iron Teeth, with the Folktails, this is then all you get. And then you get those little drop batteries, which are just such a pain to try and build, to build effective ones. So I like that they're making it a little easier to make power. I really wish they would just incorporate flywheels, but right now that's still going to be a mod. And that's okay, I guess, for the moment. I really hope they incorporate it, though. Okay. What are we waiting for? I think we're good. Ooh, let's go ahead and turn that on. There we go. Yeah. I think this drought is going to be the perfect place to put a pin in the episode. I've got my metal coming. I've got my aquatic farming over here. We've expanded out the farming down over here. And we've expanded our population, given ourselves some haulers. So we are good for 5 days. 5-day drought. How much water do we have? We've got 250. What do we need? 30 times 2 is 60. So we need 300 water, roughly. So we're pretty close. So we're going to be just fine. And I don't think we're going to pump this dry. I'm going to just take out a little insurance here. I'm just going to go ahead and pause one, just to be on the safe side, because I don't want to lose the irrigation here. This is also new, that you'll notice that you can actually now set this by 5/100ths of a meter. So let's go ahead and close that. And I think we're good. Excellent. If you made it this far, first of all, thank you very much. Second, please do all the things, like, subscribe, comment, do all of that. But the other very big thing is, if you would be so kind, support the channel, donate to the fundraiser that you see. If you donate more than $10, I'm going to put the names into the list, say for work names, to show up as beaver names, so that way you can get into the game. And with that, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode.